Kaptain. I'm the board game captain.
I'm Lynn.
And today we're going to be reviewing and talking about Exit the Game, the Haunted Roller Coaster. I love the cover art in this, and I love the name. This was the one of all the ones we got that I was most excited about. I just really love the theme. So this is another game in the Exit the Game series, which are like escape rooms in a box. The game is listed as 1 to 4 players for ages 10 and up, and for 1 to 2 hours. So we played this at 4 players. Again, like when we talked about the other one, you could play this at 1 or 2, but I think it's better at 3 and 4. And 10 and up is a pretty good estimate for this. The 1 to 2 hours, we were right in there. We finished this one in about an hour and 15? Somewhere around there. We're about an hour and 15 on this. Now, this has a escape room fun and a riddle solving of 5, a luck and strategy of 2 each. I seriously don't know how there's much luck or...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and overall strategy, I mean, is just to figure out who's best at each type of puzzle, really. So I'm not sure how you gauge that, but the escape...
I don't know either.
Yeah, but the really high ratings of escape room fun and riddle solving are definitely appropriate. There's lots of riddles in here.
Yes.
And there's lots of escape room puzzles in here. And it's listed as a 2 out of 5. I might have given this one a 2.5. I thought it was a little tougher than House of Riddles.
It was a little more difficult, I think.
And that's really just us basing the level on House of Riddles, which was also a 2. So if that was a 2, I think I might have given this a 2.5.
I mean, we even had like an extra person on this one, and there was still like...
There were a couple puzzles.
Some puzzles where we spent like 20 minutes just like, what do we even do? How does this get us numbers? You know?
The 20 minutes might be a little of an over-exaggeration because we beat the whole thing in an hour and 15, but... There were a couple puzzles we were stuck on, and there was one puzzle only, where we had to take 2 hints to solve it.
Yeah.
There were no other puzzles where we took hints. There was just one. But the thing was, all of us were having a brain cramp on it. And afterwards, we were like, oh, we are so silly. Like, it was one of those where when we realized how to do it, we're like, we could have done this, but we didn't. We just weren't looking at it the right way. So it wasn't the game's fault. I said it afterwards. I was like, that was totally our fault. And then everybody agreed. They're like, yeah, it was our fault. But overall, so the theme. You get on a haunted roller coaster in a bizarre little amusement park, and you get sealed in, and it's haunted, and there's monsters, and you have to solve the puzzles to get out. It's a silly theme. It's wonderfully appropriate for it being October when we're filming this. And... it's very Halloween-y. There's even like, there's pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns and monsters, all sorts of monsters. And like the other Exit the Game that we already reviewed, there's a wonderful variety of puzzles in here of all different kinds. There was even a big logic puzzle in here, which I loved. I thought the logic puzzle was brilliant. That was my favorite puzzle. You didn't like it. I loved that logic puzzle. Lynn's not good at logic puzzles. But that's the point of why it's so good to have a group of people. Because if you have someone who's not good at a particular puzzle and someone else who is good at that, they'll just take over. I took control on the logic puzzle and got us through it. Yeah, but also, there's another fun little reward at the end of this.
Yeah.
Not giving away what it is, but still really cool, really enjoyable. So, again, let's go to... negatives? What negatives do you got?
The same as the other one. You can only do it once.
Yeah, so it's going to be, I think it's going to be a continuing theme with us as we review these Exit the Game games, is that the one negative we have is that they're one use only. You are damaging components. There's a lot of stuff you got to cut up. There's like an origami puzzle in this too, right? Where you fold and rip and...
No, it's just folding.
Well, that one was folding. There were other things where you ripped.
You don't rip, you had to cut things.
No, there was some where you rip pages out.
Right, but then you cut the pages.
Okay. So, yes, there was cutting, there was folding, but there was damaging. You have to damage the components to do it. So you're never going to be able to do this again, even though you wouldn't be able to do it again anyway with the same group, because you would have known the hints, the answers to all the puzzles. You also can't even give it to another group because it's all going to be cut up. So that's the big downside on these games, that they are one use only. But again, like we said with House of Riddles, the positive is these, and this very much mitigates that negative, these are very affordable. The suggested retail on this size of Exit the Games, the ones that are the one-offs, are $15. And for a $15 1 to 2 hour experience, which is where they estimate this to be at, and that's right where we were with this one. We were at an hour and 15. It feels like it's the right amount of time to compare it to going to the movies. And since I recommend playing this at around 3 or 4 people, think about the fact that a movie ticket for one person is the same price as this game, and this is enjoyment for 4 people. And then on top of that, I really have to say, you're going to talk more about this with those people than you will most modern movies, because most modern movies don't give you anything to talk about, though. Unfortunately, a lot of modern movies are very, very much, stupid fun. They don't give you anything to actually discuss afterwards. Whereas after this, we sat around and talked about the puzzles and talked about like what was your favorite puzzle? What did you think of this? What did you think of that? We actually had like a 20-minute discussion after we played this particular one. I think we talked more about this one than we did House of Riddles. What do you think? Did we? I think we did.
Well, I think so, just because after House of Riddles we went and got food. So
okay, that's true.
Because
it might have been.
Yeah.
But we definitely talked about this one a lot. There was a lot of discussion about it. I love the theme. The riddles are very varied. There were some riddles. And you got to pay attention to little details. There was one riddle we were stuck on for a while until our friend Liz went, "Oh, wait a minute," and realized that this one little word in the riddle was like the key to solving the whole thing. And we're like, "Oh, how stupid are we? What were we thinking?" And there was another one where all of us had it totally backwards, and then Nick was like, "Hey, but if you line them up like this," and they were like. We were all like, of course, Nick, you got it. We were like totally lost on that.
Okay.
So, all right, now some other positives on Exit the Game, the haunted roller coaster. What else do you want to say about it?
It's the same as the other one. I mean,
yeah, but they may not have watched the other video.
I know. I'm just saying that the riddles, they're challenging, but they're approachable, and they're, even if there's a type of riddle that everyone sucks at for some reason, you have the hint cards.
And we did use the hint cards in this one.
Yes, we did.
And you know what? And again, we were having a brain cramp. We couldn't figure out how to solve this one puzzle. And then we took the first hint. We were still stuck. We took the second hint, and then we're like, "Oh, silly us, duh!" And we did it. And those were really good. The hint cards got us through. So that was really good. Overall, I would say, again, this is just as an enjoyable experience as House of Riddles. The theme, though, being more like a Halloween and horror theme, I actually enjoyed the theme more in this one. What did you think of that, the theme on this versus, say, House of Riddles?
I don't really think I enjoyed either theme more than the other.
Okay. Well, I enjoyed this one more.
I mean, they were both sort of like serious with some silly inserted.
Oh yes, definitely some tongue in cheek.
So I mean, I don't see how this one was more Halloween-y.
Well, because this one was more horror. You had monsters, and you had a funhouse theme, and you had jack-o'-lanterns. It was more. This one felt like a really good one. Like if you're doing like an adult little Halloween get-together, and you got like 4 people, and you want to play a game. This one felt for me like a really good one to get for Halloween. I thought so. I really did. All right, so yeah, we really enjoyed this. Now it's hard to think of new things to say this versus House of Riddles because the games play very, very similarly. You when you're playing the game, you open it up, you put out all the stacks of hint cards which stay in the right order. You put out the stack of riddle cards, the stack of answer cards. You get the decoder wheel, which is basically the same as the one in the other one. I'm guessing it's the same across all the Exit the Game series. And you have the book, and you read the book along with the riddle card, and you have sometimes pictures in the book, or props or things you have to use to solve the puzzles. Solving the puzzles. And if you solve the puzzle correctly, you're going to wind up with a 3-digit number that you put into the encoder disc, and it will tell you what card to go to. And then the card will say, well, where do you see the symbol? And if you see it in the right place, it will then send you to another card that'll tell you succeeded. If you're wrong, and this 2-card step, make sure you never get a false positive, which is great. I think the system in this is fantastic for solving the riddles and the puzzles. And it keeps you from getting false positives. And then if you got it wrong, you put those cards back in the deck in the right spot, and you go back and go, okay, we got it wrong, but maybe we're on the right track. Just maybe we're looking at it the wrong way, and you figure it out, and you go again, and you get the right thing. So, and that's how these games play. And then just the particular puzzles and riddles vary from game to game. Mm-hmm. The themes vary. I really like the tongue-in-cheek horror theme of this one. I thought it was really cool and really fun. I loved, the dungeons and the monsters and all that. Very enjoyable. And again, a fun little prize that you get for solving the whole game at the end. So, do you have anything else you want to talk about the haunted roller coaster from Exit the Game line?
No.
So, do you want to go first?
I mean, I worked in a little, theme park, and the haunted roller coasters totally have, like, emergency exits. Just saying.
This is not based in reality. There are monsters in this one that locks you in. Actual monsters. Oh my goodness! It is not meant to be real. It's okay. A fun fantasy theme. Okay. How many? Do you want to go first or second on the rating?
Okay. I'm giving it 8, just like the other one, because while there were some puzzles that I thought were more difficult, they weren't like extremely more difficult.
They weren't insurmountable.
It was just a little bit more difficult.
I also am going to stay with an 8 because I enjoyed this just as much as House of Riddles. While there was one puzzle, and again, I really do feel like it was our own fault that we were stuck so bad. There was one puzzle we got stuck and we got a little frustrated on, but then we got the answer. We were like, okay, and we got through it. There was another puzzle in this that I know you disagree with me on.
What's that?
Because of how much I liked it. And
the logic one?
The logic one. Okay. It was my favorite puzzle I've done in an escape room game yet. Okay. It was fantastic. I really loved that puzzle. That was the one where you got to... Oh, I'm not going to give anything away. Okay. Yeah. I'm not... Don't worry. We keep these spoiler free because I don't want to give away any of the puzzles for you guys. But I loved that puzzle. I thought that puzzle was fantastic. I loved working my way through it. I really enjoyed it. So that is another 2 8 stars. I have a feeling that we're really going to enjoy all of these.
Well, the last one we have left is the bigger one that has 2 parts. Yeah. And that has like a difficulty of like 4.5.
Ooh, that's going to really step it up. We'll have to see. But you know what? I've really enjoyed these little ones. These little ones are great. I highly recommend them to anybody who likes these kind of escape room puzzly, riddly games. These are a fantastic way to spend an evening with you and 2 to 3 friends. They're really fun. So yeah, so that's 2 thumbs up from us here at the Board Game Captain. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns on this particular game, the Haunted Roller Coaster, or on the Exit the Game line, or on this video, feel free to put them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this review and you'd like to see us do more like it, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And hit that little bell icon on my channel so you get alerts every time I upload new videos. And until next time, game on.